The next part of the section is on the average rate of change. And the average rate of change between x is equal to a and x is equal to b is f of b minus f of a over b minus a. Now, a is on the left and b is on the right. So this average rate of change really comes from the change in y over the change in x. So to find this distance, we need to take b minus a. And to find this distance, we need to take f of b minus f of a. So that's really how we get this formula. And essentially, this is like the slope formula. So this average rate of change is taking the average slope of the curve. And since the graph is not a line, this is just an average. And we'll talk more about that after the first question. For number 8, we're asked to find the average rate of change between the indicated points on the function. So our average rate of change is, well, it's between x is equal to a and x is equal to b. So this is as you go from the left to the right. And it's f of b minus f of a over b minus a. Now this is essentially the slope formula. So the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But this is more of a functional notation version of it. So my a, or my first x value, is here, and my b, or my second x value, is here. So I know that a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 5. Now to get f of a, that is just the function value at 1, or what is the y value at that point, which is 4. So f of a is equal to 4. F of b, if I go up to here, the y value there is 2. So these are my values. So my average rate of change is going to be 2 minus 4 over 5 minus 1, which is negative 2/4, which is negative 1/2. Now again, this is essentially the slope formula, where I'm taking 2 points, taking the y2 minus y1 over the x2 minus x1. So if you really wanted to, you could call this x1, y1, x2, y2. But this is really just an average rate of the curve, because it's not a line. So if you were to use the slope formula, that is actually the entire rate of change for the entire line, but that's because a line is constant, or it's changing at a constant rate. This is just measuring an average rate of change of this graph, because the rate of change is always changing. That's kind of hard to say. But it's negative 1/2 because this is decreasing over time. But that would be the average rate of change of that curve from those 2 points.